Today I am going to explain refrigerant in unit number 6, session number 58 of Vehicle Body Engineering, 5th semester, Automobile Engineering. Table of content, properties of refrigerants, effect on environment. First, properties of refrigerants. I will explain here. Properties of refrigerants. The vast number of refrigerants available in the market today allows us to choose refrigerants depending upon the operating conditions of the refrigeration system. As such, there is no refrigerant that can be advantageously used under all operating conditions and in all types of refrigeration systems. In spite of that, we can state certain desirable properties that a refrigerant should possess. These properties can be divided into favorable thermodynamic, chemical and physical properties. First of all, I will explain thermodynamic properties. In that, critical temperature and pressure. The critical temperature of the refrigerant should be as high as possible above the condensing temperature in order to have a greater heat transfer at a constant temperature. If this is not taken care of, then we will have excessive power consumption by the refrigeration system. The critical pressure should be moderate and positive. A very high pressure will make the system heavy and bulky, whereas in case of very low pressure, there is a possibility of air leaking into the refrigerating system. Next one is specific heat. The specific heat of liquid should be as small as possible. This ensures that the irreversibility associated with throttling are small and there is great subcooling of the liquid. On the other hand, the specific heat of vapor should be high to have less superheating of vapor. Next is enthalpy of the refrigeration. This should be as large as possible to minimize the area under superheat and the area reduction due to throttling. Also, the higher value of enthalpy of refrigeration lowers the required flow rate per ton of refrigeration. Taking these three factors into account, the T and S and P and H diagram of an ideal refrigerant should be as shown in the figure. Next one is conductivity. The conductivity of the refrigerant should be as high as possible so that the size of the evaporator and condenser is manageable. From this point of view, ammonia has a better conductivity than that of R12 and R22 and is more Next one is evaporator and condenser pressure. Both evaporator and condenser pressure need to be above atmospheric pressure, otherwise there is a possibility of air leakage into the system. Presence of air ductility reduces the capacity of the refrigeration system. Also, due to presence of moisture in air, acids or other corrosive compounds may form, and this may affect the tubing of the refrigeration system. Compression rate. Next one is compression rate. The compression rate needs to be as small as possible, otherwise the leakage of refrigerant occurs across the piston. Also, the volumetric efficiency is affected. Next one is freezing point. It should be as low as possible, or else there will be a possibility of blockage of passages during flow of fluid through the evaporator. Volume of refrigerant handled per ton of refrigeration. This should be as small as possible in order to have small size of the compressor. The type of compressor is decided by the value for refrigeration like R12 or 500 R22 etc. A reciprocating compressor is suitable for others like R11 and water. A centrifugal compressor is required to handle the large volume. Next one is coefficient of performance, like it is COP. In the short form it is COP. Coefficient of performance or COP has a direct bearing on the running cost of the refrigeration system. Higher the magnitude of COP, lower will be the running cost. Since the COP of any refrigeration system is limited by the COP for large operating pressure, a multi-stage refrigeration system should be employed. CO2 has a very low COP, hence it is not suitable for use as a refrigerant. Next one is density. The density of the refrigerant should be as large as possible. In reciprocating compressor, the pressure rises accomplished by squeezing the entropy fluid inside the piston cylinder assembly. Hence, density decides the size of the cylinder. Again, in centrifugal compressor, pressure rises is related to the density of the vapor. A high value of density results in high pressure rises. Next, compression temperature. Whenever refrigerant gets compressed, there is a rise in temperature of the refrigerant, resulting in heating of the cylinder walls of the compressor. This necessitates external cooling of the cylinder walls to prevent volumetric and material losses. Refrigerants having lowest compression temperature are those better than others. Next, chemical properties. Chemical stability and endurance. It should be chemically stable for the operating ranges of temperature. Also, it should not react with the material of the refrigeration system with which it comes into contact. Next property, action on rubber and plastics. Rubber and plastics are used extensively in the refrigeration system. These materials are mostly used in the seals and gaskets of the refrigeration system. They help to prevent the leakage of the refrigerant and ensures the smooth functioning of the compressor. The refrigerant should not react with them. Next one is flammability. The refrigerant should not be catch fire when subjected to high temperature. Forms this, the CO2 is most suitable for it is not only non-flammable but also acts as a fire extinguisher. Ethane, butane, isobutane are highly undesirable as they catch fire quickly. Effect on oil means like lubricant. The refrigerant should not react with the lubricating oil, else there is a possibility of loss of lubricating action due to entire thickening or heating of oil. It should not be soluble in the oil, else there will be reduction in viscosity of the lubricant oil. Next, effect on commodity means materials. If the refrigerant is directly used for chilling means cooling, then it should not affect the commodity kept in the condensed space. Also, in case where direct cooling is not employed, the refrigerant should still not affect the commodity if there is any leakage. Next property, toxicity means poison. The refrigerant should used in air conditioning, food prevention, etc. should not be toxic as they will come into contact with human beings. Physical properties. First one is leakage and detection. Since pressure higher than the atmospheric are usually employed in refrigeration system, there is a possibility of leakage of refrigerants after long period of operation. It is desirable to detect this leakage yearly, else the system should operate under reduced capacity or stop functioning altogether. Hence, it is desirable that the refrigerant has a pungent smell so that its leakage can be detected immediately. Mixability with oil means mixing with the oil. The refrigerant should not be mixed with the oil, else the lubricating strength will be reduced. Next one is viscosity. It should be as small as possible to ensure that the pressure drop in the system is as small as possible. A low viscosity refrigerant will require less energy for its circulation through the refrigeration system. Next one is safety criteria. Under safety criteria, we consider the toxicity, flammability, action on food and formation of explosive compound on exposure to air. Next topic is effect on environment. How the refrigerant will affect on the environment, I will explain. As issue of growing concern for the present day environment is that effect of various refrigerants on the ozone depletion means destroying the ozone layer and global warming of the environment. The main main points in this case are the chlorine containing halogenated hydrocarbons commonly known as chlorofluorocarbons or CFC, which are being used as a refrigerants. The direct effect on the refrigerant, the leakage of refrigerant gas into atmosphere, which can cause ozone depletion, means it will destroy the ozone layer and contributes to global warming. Indirect, the refrigeration and air conditioning systems consumes more power or energy, which raises CO2 emission and contributing to global warming. The Earth atmosphere is made up of various layers. The layer just above the ground, or means above the earth surface, is known as the troposphere. The troposphere extends up to 10 km from the surface, means from ground to 10 km troposphere is there. The ozone layer is just above the troposphere and located in the stratosphere, means ozone layer will be called as stratosphere. The stratospheric zone is the Earth's natural protection to harmful ultraviolet radiation from the sun. Ultraviolet radiation is harmful to the human, plant and animal life. The ozone layer gets depleted, means destroying, reducing or making holes by the action of these refrigerants. When EFCs, when they are released, means gases or poisonous released from the surface of the earth, rise slowly into the troposphere, means to the halogen ozone layer. Here they are bombarded by the incoming ultraviolet rays from the sun, which releases the chlorine atoms from the parent compounds. It is this chlorine atom which reacts with the ozone molecules. The detailed reactions are as given below, are given in the study material. Ozone depletion will permit ultraviolet rays, means harmful rays, to reach the earth, which can result in severe harmful effects on living animals, creatures. The ultraviolet radiation can cause skin cancer and destruction of the body. 16. Along with ozone depletion, CFC refrigerants also contribute to a large extent in the global warming of the planet. These gases create the greenhouse effect, which traps the heat into the lower atmosphere. This makes the earth warmer because the greenhouse gases do not allow interfered radiation to pass through the team. These Earth emits rays during its cooling. When sun is not there, CO2 is the most important greenhouse gas, but one molecule of CFC has warming potential which is more than 1,000 times the potential of one molecule of CO2. Sun rays are allowed into the lower atmosphere, but the heat from these rays is not allowed to escape. The Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer, signed in 1987 by several countries, stipulates the gradual phase out of CFC refrigerants. Use of CFC refrigerant is adopted as an interim measure, but even these are to be evenly phased out. These represent necessitates the need for new refrigerants which can at least perform as well as the refrigerants they replace without harming the atmosphere. Based on this, refrigerant HFC 134A emerges as the refrigerant of the future. Next one is multi-choice question for your study purpose. Number 1, the COP of air is of the order of 0.6. Answer is 0.6. Second question, ammonia has a boiling point of dash atmospheric pressure. Ammonia has a boiling point of -33 degrees centigrade at atmospheric pressure. Answer is -33 degrees centigrade. Question number 3. The ozone layer is just above the dash layer. The answer is tropospheric layer. Next question is 4. Ozone depletion will permit dash rays to reach Earth. The answer is ozone depletion will permit ultraviolet rays to reach Earth. Last one is the ultraviolet radiation can cause dash cancer, dash disease. Answer will be skin cancer. Thank you.